Hailing from Kokiri Forest, the hero of time has faced many challenges and perils throughout his life. This courageous fairy boy has journeyed through the lands of Hyrule and Tamina alike, meeting a diverse cast of characters and picking up a wide range of abilities along the way. Fate eventually led our plucky hero to the realms of Super Smash Bros, where he now tussles with the best of the best. Welcome to Redesigning Smash, a series where we take a look at existing Smash movesets and give them a new lick of paint. The aim of this is to modernize or declone certain characters to make them more in tune with their in-game appearances. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Young Link. First appearing in Smash Bros. Melee, Young Link was originally designed as a clone of his adult counterpart. He was faster and lighter on his feet with more combo potential, but this came at the cost of having slightly lower kill power. In Smash Bros. Ultimate, our hero re-emerged and maintained many of his qualities from his original appearance. He's able to run rings around his opponents with his nimble movement and can bamboozle any foe with a barrage of projectiles. While this moveset makes for a very dynamic playstyle, to me it just screams missed potential. While I understand the decision to make his moveset faithful to his original appearance, I feel there is so much more that could have been done with this character. This redesigned moveset will place a heavier emphasis on Majora's Mask than Ocarina of Time, but this should help to differentiate Young Link a bit more from his seafaring and more wild counterparts. With that being said, let's get right into it. As you'd expect, the main differences between Young Link's current kit and this redesigned moveset will lie in his special moves. At the moment, for his neutral special, he wields a bow. This is used for shooting fire arrows, which takes direct inspiration from Majora's Mask, where Link was seen to do the same thing. I like this move and feel that it's a pretty essential part of Young Link's arsenal, but I do think we can take it just one step further. Those who've played Majora's Mask will know that he gains another type of arrow on his quest. The ice arrows. I think it would be really cool if his neutral special incorporated both the fire and ice arrows, with the player being able to toggle between them using the control stick during charges. The fire arrows would largely have the same properties as they do now, but the ice arrows would act a little differently. While they would be slightly lacking in damage compared to the fire arrows, the ice arrows would have their own unique property. At full charge and with a high enough damage percentage, they'd be able to freeze the opponent. This is something that would spice things up a little and would help Young Link to stand out just that bit more from the crowd. But here's where things get interesting. An important part of Majora's Mask was the transformation mechanic. Throughout his quest, Link amassed a collection of masks, and 3 of these in particular had very special properties. While I originally thought about mapping mask transformations to his down special in a similar vein to Pokemon Trainer, I figured that 4 characters with completely unique movesets would be a bit much. Instead, I opted to allocate each of Young Link's main transformations to a different special move. Let's start by taking a look at the Up special. By putting on the Deku mask, Young Link undergoes a seamless transformation into Deku Link. He then enters the Deku flower before springing out to gain some height and using the flowers to glide back to safety. Think of this as a fusion between Banjo-Kazooie's chargeable launch and the gradual descent of Game & Watch. The flowers would have a weak hitbox similar to that of K. Rool's Copter Pack, so Link wouldn't be completely defenseless during this move. This is pretty necessary, as Link in his Deku form would be amongst the lightest in the cast, around the weight of probably Kirby or Olimar, I'd like to say, and would thus be very susceptible to edge guards. Even with the cover provided by the flowers, however, he'd still need to be somewhat careful when recovering as this character. But those of you who've played Majora's Mask will know that there's actually one attack that Link can use when in this state. That being the Deku Nut. If you press B during your recovery, a Deku Link will shoot a Deku Nut downwards. While this wouldn't be a particularly strong attack, it would make opponents flinch and could potentially prevent attacks from below. Upon landing on the ground or grabbing a ledge, Link would remove the mask and return to his normal state. As for Young Link's down special, this is where the Goron mask comes into play. Here, Young Link channels the power of Darmani and uses his iconic Goron roll. This would be a strong, heavy attack that would cover a large distance and deal a hefty amount of knockback to anyone caught in its path. It essentially works similarly to Sonic's Spin Dash in the sense that it can be charged, the key differences being that it would hit like a truck and would be much larger by comparison. If used in the air, this move would act a little differently. Link would instead perform the Goron Pound. This is a similar move to Bowser's down special, with Link curling into a ball and slamming into the ground. While both of these moves would be good for racking up damage and potentially scoring a kill, they'd need to be used in moderation as the end lag would leave you very susceptible to attack. Functionally, Young Link's side special wouldn't be hugely different from the way it is now. This time, he'd don the Zora mask and utilised the Zora boomerangs. In the spirit of Mikau, Zora Link would throw out both of his fins at once and use a sort of double boomerang attack. Unlike Young Link's current side special, this one would act as a multi-hit attack, with each boomerang having its own separate, albeit slightly weaker hitbox. Now, while the specials are certainly the biggest changes made to Young Link's kit, there are some other modifications I decided to make to his moveset. Alongside the specials, I do feel like the mask transformations could also be used for his smash attacks. His forward smash could be a strong, wind-up punch from Goron Link, his up smash could be a flip kick from Zora Link, and his down smash could be a quick, multi-hitting spin from Deku Link. Another change I'd make is to Young Link's dash attack. I feel like it would be cool to have it as a roll, similar to DK's or Banjo's. Given that the roll has always been a big part of 3D Zelda games, I'm quite surprised it hasn't really made much of an appearance on the Zelda side of Smash. For Young Link, this would be especially beneficial as the roll would act as a quick attack to start or carry on the momentum of a string of moves. The next major gameplay change I'd make is to this character's throws. A couple of the ideas I have here are pretty far-fetched, but we're going all in. For his up throw, I think this would be a good place to reincorporate the spin attack that's no longer his up special. This variant of the spin would be a quicker but weaker version of the classic move and would send the opponent skyward to set up for the next strike. As for his down throw, I took a few creative liberties here and decided to go with the Elegy of Emptiness. This little song would summon a statue of Link to come crashing down on the opponent and would send them at a similar angle to his current down throw. His forward throw, however, would be completely different here. In fact, this move would actually be Young Link's new kill throw, but with a catch. You see, for this throw, he'd put on the blast mask and use it to blow the opponent up with some pretty strong kill power. What would make this throw unique, however, is that it would actually deal recoil damage and knockback to Link and would need to be used very sparingly for this reason. And finally, the final smash. Rather than the Triforce Slash, I think it would make the most sense for Young Link to use the Fierce Deity's mask and transform into Fierce Deity Link. With an initial strike from the Fierce Deity sword, any opponent's hit would be taken into a cinematic cutscene. Here, he'd dice up opponents with a barrage of deadly sword beams before landing a powerful jump slash to launch opponents into the distance. So that's pretty much it for the main changes I'd make to the Hero of Time in Smash, but there are a few smaller cosmetic things I'd like to adjust. I will admit that the Deku shield is a pretty iconic part of Young Link's look, but with this moveset placing such a huge emphasis on Majora's mask, I think it would only be fitting for him to wield the hero shield instead, and equally his hookshot could be changed to reflect the golden variant in Majora's mask. For his taunts, I do think it would be nice if he had the Bremen mask and Kamaro mask for his up and side taunts respectively, but the milk taunt has to stay, that one is just too good. And that about covers it. Let me know what you think of this rejigged Young Link moveset, and if you have any of your own ideas to declone him further, I'd love to hear them. If there are any other characters in particular you want to see me cover in future, feel free to let me know as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you later.